All right, here we are just hanging out, spending a Saturday. I was going to say a Saturday night. It's Saturday morning. What the heck is going on with that? Kevin, what's up, dude? Good evening. Yeah, turning things around a little bit. It's been a crazy week. I need some time to do some sketchering. I figure some random sketching for a few minutes before I call it a night would be just what the doctor ordered. Fatang! Hey, what's up, man? Glad you're hanging out. Kevin, what's up? Let's see. Cyber Angels are rubbing off on you. You're losing track of time. Yeah, this is no doubt. That's the basis of all of this. Yeah. So we've been kind of like wrapping up the Nira X campaign, but I'm also at the same time ramping up for the Zen Bounty Wars campaign, which also has Nira X in the story. So no boobs. I got some boobs. There's some boobs here. I got some boobs. Yeah, totally agree. Weekend is finally here. Oof. So it's good. Yeah, I plan on getting a lot of drawing done still, but maybe some sleeping in, maybe some pizza, maybe some chilling. Maybe I'll watch some TV. I don't know what's I'm kind of look, I got my boobs. And yes. And that ass too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be watching on TV. I started kind of checking out uh, that Halo series. I think it's on Paramount Plus, and I'm not so sure about it, man. It's like I love Halo, but um, the show's not hitting it 100% for me. There's just some things about there's some scenes in it that are like really cool. But I don't like how they treat Cortana. I don't like how they treat Dr. Halsey. Kind of like, I don't know, they're literally different characters. But, sometimes it's to be expected. You're not going to get what you want. But it's all good. It's all good. At least it's something. I think I started catching an episode or two of the Bad Batch, Star Wars, The Bad Batch. And it's good. I mean, it's light. It's not very like heavy Star Wars. It's like Star Wars light. Can't exactly get mad at the characters because the characters are basically all new to me. But it's nice just having just some general entertainment, just to wind down, if nothing else. It's either that or I got to sit down and play some Spider-Man or some Tomb Raider or something to kind of wind down. Which is cool, but I just want to watch some short episodes of something, That way I can get back to work, get back to what I'm doing. Fatang says, let's see, I tried Peacemaker last night, and I feel the same way you do about Halo. Yeah, you know what? Peacemaker grew on me. The first couple episodes, I was like, I don't think this is what I'm looking for. And then after a while, once I kind of, yeah, I'm very unhappy with this face. Once I got used to what the show was kind of shooting for and got to know the characters a little bit, and I saw that there actually was like a little bit of heart to it. I'm not really attached to any of the characters on Peacemaker, so that makes it easier for me to accept. You know, it's like just to watch it without being too disappointed. But with Halo, it's like you know, I know the characters fairly well from the game, and I'm just like, did these writers even check out the game at all before they wrote the show? It's like, I don't know, just didn't hit it for me. You know, it's not enough to go on strike or anything, but you know, not what I was looking for. Steven De La Vega, hey, what's up? I'm glad you're hanging out for a few minutes. Yeah, I'm doing a little 1-2 in the morning sketching. Yeah, so far the show is not great. Yeah, I totally agree with you. There's scenes that show me that they can make it really good, and they're literally deciding not to make it good. You know what I mean? It's like, I think the budget is good enough that, because there's some scenes that show me that it's like they have the ability to make it really good. But some of their story decisions and some of the way they're treating the characters are like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Let's see, Kevin says, modern TV sucks? I shouldn't be surprised. Go figure. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying catching old episodes of. You said Simon and Simon. I about had you almost gave me a flashback. I used to watch that show. Simon and Simon used to be kind of like part of my my lineup in the old. I don't know, like the old. I think they were part of my lineup with like shows like Magnum PI, and you know, when Knight Rider and A-Team and stuff like that were on TV. And it said Simon and Simon, though. I wouldn't have thought of that show off the top of my head. But I do remember I watched a whole lot of episodes of it, so obviously I liked it. I think there was one day of the week that was like there was shows like Simon and Simon that were more like cool buddy, kind of like like detective cop dramas, and then there was nights where it was like a little bit more like Greatest American Hero and A-Team and Knight Rider and stuff like that, a little bit more fantasy stuff. It is based in San Diego. That's true. I didn't even think about that. Let's see. I've been watching another stream, and they have put out classic shows like X-Men, Spider-Man, Gargoyles. Oh yeah, I remember all those, like when they first came out, for sure. Yeah, those were. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I just like. I probably wouldn't mind revisiting those. That would be fun. Yeah, just trying to get a little bit of this pose. There's a little bit of dialogue that I have to have between Nira and this other character, Scribe. So I've got like a little back and forth at the bottom here before I fill in the panel borders. So it's Scribe is this dude right here, and they're on the deck of this ship, the SS Green. So sorry, Kevin, I'm destroying I'm destroying the SS Green. It's going to be all on fire and everything. Sorry, bro. Don't worry. We'll build you a better one. So her and Scribe are having kind of a back and forth because they're the only two from their little group of people that's still on this ship, figuring out what's going to happen next. So this should be fun. Yeah, I think before I wanted to get the face details on there, I really wanted to get the pose down first. I think that was my problem. Sometimes you gotta tackle the image like from a different spot to get what you're kind of looking for. Let's see. My biggest problem with Gargoyles was that there were here that it was it never aired in order. Oh yeah, that would suck. That would be like watching Star Blazers, but like completely. And you know what? There was a few times where they aired Star Blazers here in. I like all those years, like going to like junior high and high school and stuff. Like I was living here in Virginia, and they showed Star Blazers out of order, which is like why? It's specifically designed to be a countdown to the last episode. Yeah, that sucks when it's out of order like that. You say it's okay if you send me a piece of the old ship. Okay, we're good then. Steven, is this a Dark Seas page? Yes, it is. Yeah, in fact, let me show you a couple of them. Got a couple little things going on here. So this is why they're the only two that are left on the ship, is because Mercy went and took off. She's checking up on Allura, and some other Cyber Angel characters are going to be coming in just a moment. But in the meantime, it's just Scribe and Nira on this pirate ship, and the pirate ship is kind of like heading into this. I got this whole zombie pirates thing that I wanted to do this time around, so I'm having fun with that. And then something comes up out of the water, like you have no idea what it is, and then you see these giant fingers, just like Shadow of the Colossus sized fingers coming up out of the water. And then you see who it is, man. It's Darkon. Darkon from Avatar Press. All the way back in the mid to late 90s. I'm actually bringing some characters back, but I turned him into a giant Colossus kind of guy this time. So he's... It's like I'd be the to be continued episodes were a nightmare. Yeah, that's true. I didn't like those two-parters when it came to like my TV lineup. I know it's kind of a trope when it comes to comic books, but when it comes to TV shows, dude, it's like you have to wait till next week to watch my show. That always kind of pissed me off too. Kind of like Firefly was meant to be in order too. Yeah, absolutely. Firefly was. Yeah, there's a continuity to it. There's, it's like later episodes actually reference the history that happened earlier in the season, or in earlier episodes and stuff. Mercy bailed. Mercy did bail. She's like, you know what? I read ahead in the script. I'm out of here. You said that Darkon dude is coming back. I'm out. I'll catch you guys on page 13. Oh my god, that's funny. That's exactly what it looks like too. It's just like, I'm out. I don't get paid enough to fight the Colossus guy. I'm still undecided about the facial expression that she's going to have here. I don't know if I want her to be surprised, scared, or like pissed off because it's like just one more thing. It's like this whole trip that she's been taking has been one problem after another for her specifically. Let's see. With all the cyber angels, don't you worry about making Nira less special. That's actually really that's a super good point. That's a very super good point because this particular series has a lot of different cyber angels like making appearances and stuff. But this is a platform world. This is actually the cyber angel world that she's on, and Nira doesn't necessarily make her home on this platform world that all the cyber angels exist on. So what's going to happen is, these cyber angels are here in this story, but then when this story is over, Nira goes right back to, because Nira is more of a solitary adventurer, Tomb Raider in space kind of chick. She likes to look for adventure herself, and she likes to find her own way. So yeah, she's not going to stay in this cyber angel world. She's going to be exploring and doing lots of things. But this particular story does have a lot of cyber angels in it. But you make a very, very good point, because Nira is supposed to be unique unto herself. She's like the one true cyber angel. And everybody else is basically a spin-off from that. So they exist because she exists, but they all basically stay here, and sometimes they might come out to play, but for the most part they all exist on this platform world known as Oasis, and it just happens to be where this story takes place. But you're right though, it's like, Nira will be going back out into the universe again as soon as this adventure is kind of all wrapped up. And she runs into cyber angels now and then, but it's like, you're right. The whole point of having a whole bunch of them, that'll be like having Knight Rider on an episode, but it's like there's a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of Knight Riders. It makes Knight Rider not as unique, That's a very good question. Very good question. I'm glad you brought that up. Mercy read ahead. It's a very Spaceballs meta moment. I know, right? Donald, how you doing, my friend? I'm glad you're here, dude. Oh, I'm glad you could catch this one as well. Awesome. Yeah, when I do a stream at 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that, it's very unscheduled and it's very random. So I'm glad that we could run into each other. This is cool. We can hang out for a few minutes. Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah, no, I'm glad you like that angle for the thing, for sure. Yeah, definitely don't want to overdo it, because Nira is the star of the show. And the thing is, we've actually had specific titles for other cyber angels before. Like we had a Mercy self-titled comic that was like a mini series unto herself. She's had her own books published from Avatar, and we also had a different book actually titled Cyber Angels, and so that was that book is like for all the different cyber angels all together having different adventures in where this platform world exists, which is kind of like just outside of time. It kind of exists in its own pocket. Oh, thanks, Donald. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I'm kind of a night owl. I do like to do some of my work at nighttime, so it's cool. It's cool that we can randomly just kind of run into each other. Yeah, see where her hair is going to be going. Always have her hair doing something crazy. Luckily, I got plenty of excuses to throw her hair all over the place because she's on the deck of a ship in the middle of the ocean, and there's lots of wind. So I just got to make sure that there's enough room for some dialogue. See, that's something else that I've always got to make sure. And with this book, since I'm the one writing it, I kind of like I continue to edit and kind of change the dialogue as I go along, because sometimes the artwork inspires like a new idea or a different angle for the scene, or a facial expression might change the dialogue a little bit just because of the look on the character's face or the way they're looking at each other or whatever. So it's nice to have a little bit of freedom when it comes to that. So here I'm going to have Scribe looking down at her. They're saying some stuff to each other. I'm not going to reveal all the dialogue. There'll be nothing left to read when the book comes out. But I'll let you know that they're talking to each other. Scribe is very concerned. And Scribe is also explaining to her right now a little bit of what's going on. Scribe is kind of like my walking encyclopedia for this world. So when there's like something happening that's strange or unexplainable, Scribe usually has information or lore or something for them to go off of that will help them kind of fill in the blanks a little bit, you know? That's his shtick. So he's kind of like he's not the Watcher. He's definitely not an all-seeing, all-anything kind of character, but he's a very smart character. And one of the reasons he's called Scribe is because where he lives, he's got like an endless amount of scribes, scrolls, and information and histories, and he loves keeping and knowing all these things. So kind of like my sort of a storyteller kind of character, but more like the keeper of information. Which comes in handy when I need some quick exposition for the characters to kind of explain what's going on. Especially when something new pops up. Oh, Kevin, yeah, that's right. Yeah, she had a pinup book too. Yeah, Avatar had a pinup book for Mercy, and we also had a different one for Allura too. I remember we had one for her. Yeah, we did a lot of books with Avatar in the 90s. Oh, thanks, Donald. You're cool, dude. Scribe is a watcher. No, I just said he's not a watcher. Well, he does watch, but he also writes things down. He's a scriber. He's a subscriber. I can actually be kind of loose with a lot of the detail that's here, because I already know I'm going to have some word balloons down here. So we're looking up at his chest, and kind of, as long as there's like detail here, so you can see that we're looking up into his shirt there. That'll be cool, because it's mostly going to be covered up with dialogue. It is kind of weird when you draw something knowing ahead of time that it's going to be covered up. It's like, just leave it blank. But at the same time, it's like, depending on where the book is going to get published, or like if we do a little art book later, if I print up a version of this that doesn't have the word balloons. Not to mention, if somebody buys the original artwork, I don't want to have like blank spots in the middle of things for no reason. So all the lettering is done digitally, so they wouldn't have that. Cool. Yeah, we did. Yeah, those were fun books. We had fun making those. You know that's right. Let's see. At least it's only covered up in a digital way. Yeah, this is true. This is true. Hey, Donald, let's see. Hey, Bill, you've probably been asked this a billion times, but how did you start learning how to draw? That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm always happy to answer questions like that. That's all good. I started learning how to draw when I was a kid. That was when I was a kid. I would watch. I was very fascinated with like back when I was a kid. I saw Star Wars in the theater. It was like 1978, right? So when I got home from watching Star Wars, I thought it was so cool that I wanted to draw all the things that I saw at the theater. So when I got home, I was immediately I'm drawing R2D2. I'm trying to draw the Falcon. I'm trying to draw So that's how it kind of like got started. Because I was like, you see things that are really cool and you want to be able to like draw them. It just seemed like a cool idea. When I was younger, I kept on drawing because that was one of the primary ways that I used to make friends in school. And I would make friends with everybody because I could draw, and I just kind of carried that into adulthood. I mean, even right now, I would say right now that the way that we're all meeting each other is because I'm drawing. So that's what got me started, and that's what kind of like kept me into it. But yeah, it's always a good question. Everybody has different motivations for why they might start drawing. So it's super valid question. Super valid question. I got to have her with a little bit more of a surprised look on her face here, because what's happening in this scene right now is that she's on the deck of the ship, right? She's up here, all tiny, little stick figure. They're talking, but then she looks up and she realizes that this big monster is really making eye contact with her. Like, the reason that he's attacking the ship is because he's after her. He's not just attacking the ship because it's there. For some reason, he's really mad at her. So that's when we start implying the whole idea of the fact that this character has actually run into her in a different life before. And actually he has, because it was a different comic book series, different company, all that sort of stuff. This is Darkon, and she had defeated him way back in the day in another life. So that's the way I sort of divide up her lore and her history a little bit, because she has been published by a couple different companies and in a couple different eras, really. I mean, it's just like she started in 1993 with Entity Comics, and then she went on to Avatar Press, which is a totally different company, different vibe, different types of stories. And now she's at another publisher called Committed Comics, and we've always, I've been publishing her under the Entity banner since the very beginning, regardless. So it's like, different companies, different vibes, different types of stories. So it's a cool way to sort of bookend like her different lives, I think, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Pops, what's up, dude? Yeah, I know, it's 2 a.m., right? A perfect time to draw. I can't help myself, man. I gotta draw, mister. Yeah, I figure I'd do a little bit more drawing, and I'm just really happy that the campaign for the book has been going well, and plus ramping up also for this Zen Kickstarter, which also stars our girl Nira here. So it's going to be very busy 2 months working on these two projects, which I'm super excited about. So, especially because it's Nira actually had her first appearance in the pages of Zen Intergalactic Ninja for issue 0. So for her and Zen to have a crossover right now is like that's super cool. Gotta have her hair flying around. Time to sleep. No, you can sleep tomorrow, man. You can sleep tomorrow. Donald, let's see, it's 11:02 p.m. on my end. 11:12. Yeah, I guess it would be. Okay, West Coaster. I miss San Diego so much, dude. Yeah, I lived out there for like 10 or 12 years, and it was the best. It's like I feel like part of my life is always going to be in San Diego, which it is. I got friends and I got family out there, and that's where I started drawing comics and getting into the business. So West Coast, always home. Andrew, what's up, man? Andrew says, do you not do thumbnails to lay out pages? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. I'll show you a little bit. You know what? I could show you right now. Since we're kind of like looking at the process, right? Here, let me just move a couple things on my table, and I will show you real quick what's going on. I got my sketchbook, my trusty draw all over it sketchbook here. And let me turn over to the page where I started doing my layouts for this story. So sometimes I do thumbnails before I start, and sometimes I'll do a whole bunch of thumbnails. Actually lay out like a good portion of the book. Now this is like a story wheel. This is how I'm breaking down the events that are going to take place in the issue. And I do it in a circle like this. It's sort of I picked this up from a book that shows people how to write like novels and things like that. It's just a little trick that they use to kind of compartmentalize their ideas. Because if you put them in like this, then you can move things around if you want to. If you want a certain scene to take place after this scene, and move it up or move it down. So you have like I have a general. I got a pattern for what's going to be happening. And then, of course, I got another thumbnail here. This is the thumbnail for this page. I'll show you the difference. Here we go. There we go. Make sure it's in focus. So got Nira, got Mercy flying off over here, and I've got these 3 panels. And so I went. This is almost exactly to the thumbnails, like exactly. So sometimes I do map it out, unless I really see it really clearly in my head before I start drawing. So I do bounce back and forth a little bit. It just all depends on if I could see it clearly in my head and I don't need to thumbnail it out, then I won't. But if I need to, yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm never against working out and solving all the little story problems before committing to paper. That was a very good question, dude. I appreciate that. Pops, okay, let's see. I'll see you Monday, Bill. All right, cool, man. You have a good night, Pops. Oh, you're welcome, dude. Kevin, but it is tomorrow. I know, right? Wait, the art is on its side. It doesn't. I know. It's like it's not. This isn't the right piece to look like. It doesn't look like porn on its side. Here we go. Sometimes it doesn't focus. This little camera. There we go. That's better. Patang. Let's see. The story wheel is a neat idea. Yeah, it's like, and I stole it. That wasn't something I came up with. I took that from a thing. But it is, yeah, it's very helpful tool to use. I mean, it's like I would highly recommend if you're working out a story kind of from scratch or whatever, and you just want to see how it's going to pace out, like just the big beats of the story. It's a really good way to do that. I'll keep her shoulder like that for a minute. At a glance, it kind of looks like I drew her boob right there, instead of it looking like her shoulder. So maybe I might change it so it'll look cooler. I was gonna do like a foreshortened, like I'm looking down at her. That was really what I was shooting for. Let me try that. Let me try my original idea. I don't know why I veered away from it. Sometimes you have an idea in your head, and right when you start drawing it, you decide to change it for no good reason, because of the angle or whatever, and it might turn out that it's not the best idea after all. So it's like with this, sometimes when you're looking straight down on somebody, like the body doesn't look like it's the right shape at all, but it actually does look, like a more correct than if you'd done it the other way. So there's always a compromise between what you can do and what you would like to do. Let's see. Kevin says he needs to see the Nira X timeline to see how the patterns can go all wild. I know. I need to upload a picture of that so I can actually pop it up on the screen, because her timeline is spaghetti. It's just, well, that's what makes her book fun. Mighty Geek, what's up, dude? This is part of a double page spread. No. This is just a single page. Just a single page. I love double page spreads, though. I do. Especially, I would really like to do it, considering I got like big elements, like the pirate ship thing here and stuff. So, but no, I kept it like this because I'm trying to cram in a little bit too many pages into my pages. Oh yeah, Andrew. Yeah, of course. Donald. Yeah. No, dude, I've got a stack of sketchbooks. Half of a sketchbook is me cutting and pasting and sticking things in the sketchbook, and half of it is me drawing and working out ideas and all that good stuff. Yeah, you got to have your sketchbooks, man. Got to have a place to think. Somewhere you can just work things out. Kevin, he's erasing boobs. No. Thanks, man. Awesome. That's what makes it all worth it, man. It's like I'm glad that you guys are hanging out. And you guys caught me tonight, and I'll be on for like another maybe 10 or 15 minutes. I do want to just pencil in at least just this last panel, so that way we see a little bit of the payoff of what's happening here with our Colossus-y looking dude. Definitely have an idea for how he's looking down on Nira right now. It's always tricky drawing faces when you're looking up at the faces. I think for a lot of times I tend to cheat when it comes to like when I'm drawing perspective and things like that. I'm very bad. I'm not an architect. I'm not a good technical drawer, I should say. So I tend to cheat a lot. My shapes are very organic. But as long as it looks cool, then I'm usually good. I got a lot of characters with like Jean-Luc Picard noses in this issue. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's interesting that for some reason I'm drawing a lot of big noses. Put a little bit of his face into the shadow over here, make it look all menacing. Hey, Donald says, thank you for sharing the inner workings of your art. First time seeing this from an artist I like. Oh, that's cool, man. I appreciate that. Dude, I'm flattered. Seriously. I hope you pop in for like our other live streams and stuff. I'll try to make sure that we do more of them. I especially like doing these like these 1, 2 in the morning kind of things, just because it's a little bit kind of getting away from necessarily like pushing the book or support my Kickstarter. Like I just want to spend some time actually just drawing, and just hanging out with you guys. Better than having the Red Skull no nose. I used to draw Paradox with no nose, and I was like, no, I like him better with a nose. I've got a lot of skull type characters that don't have noses, and that's cool. I like those, but for some of my main bad guys, I was like, nah, you guys need to have noses. Gnarly teeth. And some of these just get roughed in like pretty loose. So I'll tighten it all up when I go in with the inks. And the funny thing about Darkon this time, usually Darkon is a very 1940s. See, I'm gonna put you in a trap and destroy my enemy. See, he's one of those kind of guys, like a monologuing kind of guys. And because he's this Colossus kind of guy now, he doesn't talk at all. He's sort of like you can't reason with him because he's like the weather now. He's just so big. So dealing with him is a different story now. But it is kind of cool to draw him like all crazy big and like it's like stuff from the bottom of the ocean and stuff, all like dripping off of him and stuff. I'll probably add a little bit of atmosphere when I go in with the colors. Let's see. Kevin says Zen is better with the nose too. He can appreciate the space roses in the morning. I don't know. Zen having a nose is still that's still something that's hotly debated over here, but I can't do very much about it. That's his continuity now. So we have to see what's going to happen next. Let's see. I strongly believe you'd make a great barbarian comic if you ever make one. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. I appreciate that. We actually have something a little bit like that, but it's planned for way later on. I'm not sure when we're actually going to start working on it, but it's a lot more heavy metal as opposed to. I mean, I always put science fiction into my stuff. There's always some element of tech and space and spaceships and stuff. I always like putting that stuff in there. But I do have more of a sword and sorcery kind of story that I've been working on. But it's going to take a little while for me to put that one together, especially trying to finish up all this other stuff. But it's coming, yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned that because there is something that we have in mind that we're working on for that. Let's see, Mighty Geek. Does the women know that you're up past your bedtime, Bill? Yes. In fact, this is actually the perfect time for me to to actually draw and live stream at the same time because my daughter's asleep. She's all good to go. The dog's asleep. The house is quiet. I'm upstairs. I can make noise because it's far enough away from the house, and nobody else is in the studio. So that means I could live stream without somebody else making noise. Man, but yeah, this is basically our work for the evening. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys actually helped me to kind of concentrate and get these 4 panels done. And next time you see these panels, hopefully there'll be some ink on them. And the next time of that live stream, I'll be inking or sketching up a brand new page. Let's see, I'll put this one here too. Why not? So that way you guys can see the process as it goes along. And let me see here. Yeah, I'll there you go. Yeah, just making sure I've got all the stuff set up. Yeah, thanks so much everybody for hanging out, and I'm gonna play us out little end credits, and I'll see you again here soon. All right. Good night, everybody.